This is a podcast. And that was supposed to be a gunshot. Was it? I don't know. I don't have any headphones in. Can't hear what it does. But it's what I assigned the button as. That's what it said. Pushed it. We'll see. We will find out together. If you feel that I should be more structured than that, then this is not the show for you. And you should probably fuck off now. Respectfully. I've heard somebody say before that you shouldn't curse in the first 30 seconds of your shit because that's not favored by the YouTube algorithm. But clearly I don't give a fuck about that because I'm 90% certain I've already fucked that up and cursed like 4 to 5 times. But such is life. Here the fuck we are. Does that have anything to do with anything? No, it just popped into my head. And that is actually, look at that, lo and behold, a second opportunity to figure out whether this is for you or not. Because if you are not interested in my ramblings, this is also not going to be for you. And you should fuck off again. Mildly less respectfully this time because I gave you the opportunity once and you passed it by. Such is life. That's on you. Anyway, I've talked before about how I used to smoke a lot of weed. If you follow me on Instagram, then you may or may not be familiar with the story. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you should delete your fucking Instagram because what do you even have that shit for? Because everyone else just be on there talking nonsense. But I digress. That is not even the point of this. Anyway, I used to smoke a lot of weed. And when I say a lot of weed, I mean like half ounce a night, literally nightly thing. And I don't say literally in the sense that the internet people say literally to mean figuratively because it's not how fucking words work. So literally every single night I would smoke about a half ounce of weed. Now at the time, I was working at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver and I was wildly fucking poor. I made enough money, barely, to pay my rent. And when I say I barely made enough money to pay my rent, I mean that in the absolute, again, most literal sense. Sometimes I had enough money to pay my electricity bill. Sometimes I did not have electricity. Sometimes I ate food. Sometimes I did not eat food. Sometimes there were leftover pizzas at Pizza Hut and I would eat those motherfuckers. Sometimes there were not and I would just be assed out. But I say all of that to say, while all of my job money, which is sad because my rent was like $600 at the time, but all of the money that I made from my job went to paying my fucking rent. Yet, I still found a way to make money, to make enough money to purchase about $80 of weed a night, along with packs of Swisher Sweets or White Owls or Phillies in which to roll the weed, depending on my mood. Sometimes I felt like I wanted to try something new and got a game, them big-ass cigars, and a pack or two of Black & Milds every single day. So I was spending like $90 to $100 daily on smoking and complaining about the fact that I could not pay my rent or have any more bills. But that's the point that I'm making here is I found a way, no matter what happened, to be able to get the money to get this weed. How did I get it? It doesn't matter. That's not the point of it here. The point is that I did because I really wanted it, because it was important to me, because at the time I was not happy with where I was in life. I wasn't happy with my job. I wasn't happy with how much money I was making. I wasn't happy with where I lived. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I mean, that's not just in the sense of my job, like overall functionally in life. I wasn't happy with how I was living my life. But when I would smoke, I would forget about all of that and I would just be happy in the moment. And at the time I lived in this tiny ass little apartment. It was like 600-700 square feet, I think. It was a 2-bedroom. It was me and one of my homies. And we would sit up all fucking night smoking blunts, sometimes with electricity, sometimes without. If there was no electricity, we'd just sit there and smoke. If there was, then we would watch some sort of bootleg DVDs that I would get from this dude that I worked with or listen to music. And that was what I looked forward to throughout my whole day. I would wake up well, it wasn't the morning. I would wake up like mid to late ass afternoon. I was sleeping till like 4 p.m. like a fucking loser. But the point is, I would wake up, and from the time I woke up, I would try to figure out how I was going to make sure that I got some fucking weed that night. Because when I smoked, I was high, and I forgot about the situation that I was in. It distracted me from the fact that I was not happy with my life. So I would go to work and get some money, and I had a whole list of different fucking people to call. There was one dude who lived in my apartment complex in a building over who we would call at like 1, 2 a.m. And sometimes he wouldn't answer his fucking phone, so we stand out there throwing rocks at the window because the building had a door that you had to have a key to get into that specific building. And it had that for all of the little like apartment blocks. And he lived in a different apartment block, but the same overall complex. Anyway, it was ghetto ass apartment. That's not the fucking point that I'm making. The point is we would stand out there for mad long, throwing fucking rocks to the window. I'd be like, hey, sell some fucking weed, man. And sometimes he would have weed, sometimes he wouldn't have weed. And if he didn't have weed, there was a bunch of other people to call. So I'd be out sometimes driving till fucking 3 a.m. just to get this weed. But the point that I'm making with all of this is that no matter what happened, I made sure that I was going to get the fucking weed because it was important. But what I didn't realize is the weed was keeping me from realizing what it was that I was able to do. At the time, I swore that I didn't know how to go about improving my life. I didn't know how to make my situation better. If I did, I would do it. But I was high, so I couldn't see. You dumbass. You clearly have the ingenuity and motivation and dedication to be able to fucking do it. You are just applying it to the wrong thing. If you can figure out a way to conjure drugs and the money for drugs out of thin air, functionally, then you can also figure out a way to make some more money and get your ass a better fucking apartment and a better car and whatever the fuck else it is that you would like to do in life. You were showing yourself, I was showing myself every single day that whatever I truly wanted in life and went after, I was able to achieve. And I was just rolling up that proof and smoking it because, again, I was high, so I didn't realize it. But I didn't learn that lesson until much fucking later, that I had all of the proof that I needed to show myself that I could accomplish whatever it was that I truly, truly, truly wanted. And when I did, I took a look back in my life and I realized throughout everything, throughout my childhood, throughout my teen years, throughout my early 20s and all that shit, everything that I truly wanted, I went out and I got and I acquired and I made sure to make it happen. It just so happens that most of the time what I truly wanted was stupid shit. But that did not change the fact that I had been succeeding my whole entire life and I believed that I didn't have what it took to be successful at anything. But I was just succeeding at doing the wrong things. I was successfully a broke-ass pothead because I did everything necessary to become a broke-ass pothead. I was successfully out of shape because I did everything necessary to be out of shape. I was successfully lazy because I was doing all of the shit that it took to be lazy. But the point of the fucking matter is, if you take a look at your life, if you take a look at any period of your life, you will see that you fully created it. And some of the things you went out of your way to create. Now, they might have been stupid things. It's the same thing if you look at alcoholics or crackheads. Crackheads are a great example. If you look at a crackhead that does not even have a house, they don't have a house, they don't have money, they don't have a job, they don't have clean clothes, they don't have a fucking shower. But you know what they do have? Crack. You know where they are getting the crack? From people selling the crack. I don't know if I could say crack this many times or if that's like detrimental to the YouTube shit, but fuck it, here we are. Anyway, what's my point? Oh, they are getting this crack. And you know how they are getting the crack? By giving people who have crack money. Do you know where they are getting the money from? It doesn't fucking matter. The point is, they are going to get the money. No matter what no matter what it is that happens, no matter what it is that it takes, they have crack all fucking day. And that costs a lot of money. But because they have the dedication and the drive to be able to make some shit happen. So they will bend the fucking earth in half and shatter the fabric of the universe in order to make sure that they get their drugs. And if they were able to take that exact same focus and drive and put it towards something positive, they could take over the whole fucking world. And everybody has some shit like that. There is something that you could take a look at your life and say, man, this might be a stupid thing, but every single time I've wanted this, I have had it. You've never went without these things. And people don't realize that because they're not the traditionally successful things. Yeah, again, most of the time it's stupid. It's not, obviously putting your time towards getting all of the fucking crack in the world is a terrible usage of your resources. But the point is, you've shown yourself that if you really want something and go after it, then you can fucking have it. And if you take that same experience, that perspective that you have from those experiences and apply it in the direction that you want to go, you will realize that the only thing that's preventing you from being where you want to be and living the life that you want to live is what you are applying your skill sets and passion and dedication to. Most people, most of you, all of you are just applying it. I was applying it to the wrong shit. I was applying all of my intelligence and craftiness and willfulness and dedication and drive towards something fucking stupid. But I had it and I got that. And once I realized that and was able to remove that thing and get rid of the thing that was taking all of my time and energy, I was able to put that exact same energy towards something much more productive. So I took the same drive that I had to say, hey, I'm going to go out at 3 fucking a.m. and drive to the other side of the city. I was in Charlotte at the time. It was like a 40-minute drive just to get some weed so that I could drive another 40 fucking minutes back and smoke that weed. And it's 5 a.m. now, but I don't give a fuck because I wanted these blunts. And now I have these blunts and I made it happen. But I took all of that dedication and put it towards much more positive things. And turn my life around. It's actually not that fucking difficult once you realize what it is that you've been doing and you just put your energy in the right direction, because no matter what it is you're doing all fucking day, you're expending your energy. Most of the time it's just on dumb shit. So, and people have this fear of failure, because I used to have a fear of failure as well, because they've never seen that they could achieve some shit, but that's just because they're looking at everything that they've done in their life wrong. If you are fat as fuck, then you have successfully become a fat person. You didn't just wind up that way just because, despite what the feel good, happy fucking internet weirdos want to tell you, it's not. You didn't do everything right and still wind up fat. You ate a bunch of fucking food and that's how you got fat, but you consistently did that. And every single day you showed up and fucking overate. And it sounds like I'm belittling it. Yes, I'm mildly making fun of it, but I am making the legitimate point that every single day that you showed up and you put in the work to get to where it is that you are, maybe not where you want to be, but you did everything necessary to become what it is that you are. You could take that same dedication and put it towards what it is that you want to be. Just as you showed up every day and ate way too much fucking food, you can also show up every day and go to the fucking gym. And you've already shown yourself that you could prioritize working on the process of whatever it is that it takes. If you are an alcoholic, then you can take that exact same energy and dedication that you put towards acquiring your drink of fucking choice every single day and put that towards getting in shape or bettering your life or improving your relationships or whatever the fucking case may be. All of that shit, all of the dedication that it takes you to learn video games, or all of the time that it takes you to watch all of the stupid ass shows on Netflix, which is only mildly a judgment because I used to do the exact same thing, can be applied towards where it is that you want to go and who it is that you want to be. You already have all of the resources. You already have all of the abilities. You already have all of the skill sets. They're just going towards the wrong shit. You already are who it is that you need to be. You are just applying it wrong. I was doing the exact same thing. I was applying it wrong. And I was more interested in making sure that I had black and milds than making sure that I was able to get a better apartment. I was more interested in making sure that I was high than improving a fucking skill set. I was more interested in making sure I had cigars than going to the gym, whatever the fucking case may be. But it's just misapplied energy. And if you look around the world, you will see, or at least here, you will see people who are doing the exact same thing. It's the same thing as the people who have tiny ass 1-bedroom apartments in a shitty car, but 48 pairs of $1,000 shoes and complain about the fact that they're broke. And it's not that you don't know how to do better. You're just doing the wrong shit. You can take the exact same skill set that it took you to get all of these fucking pairs of shoes and better your fucking life. You're just prioritizing dumb shit. So if you are not where you want to be, if you are not who you want to be, take a look at your life and realize why it is that you are not, and what is it that you were doing instead of becoming who you want to be. And know that if you applied all of the passion and effort and energy that you put towards the stupid shit that you're doing, if you put the same passion and effort that I did into finding weed towards getting in shape, you would be in shape long fucking ago, and you would be in better shape than almost every fucking body. But you are just using your skill set wrong, and that is because you are a fucking idiot. Respectfully.